A voice from the Eternal speaks, saying this is the last signal before everything shifts. This is not another passing alert or empty sound meant to scare you. If you decide to look away now, the next few minutes will quietly unravel things you have been holding together for years. This is not a game, not a trick, not something to laugh off and forget. If you turn away, regret will linger far longer than you expect. Pause where you are. Enter this moment fully. Beloved soul, stop moving your thumb. Still your breath. And hear what is being carried to you now. Something is already in motion beyond the physical world, unfolding where eyes cannot reach. Yet your inner knowing has already sensed it. That shiver along your spine did not come from nowhere. It is a sacred alert, a quiet mark that you were meant to receive this before others. Do not leave now, because what follows holds the code for the next 7 minutes of your life. Minutes that will quietly set the tone for the next 7 years ahead. The heavens have waited with you longer than you realize, but today the pause has thinned into urgency. This is not another whisper you can brush aside or save for later. This is the closing bell before a cycle folds in on itself and begins again. Lately, signs have been repeating around you. The same numbers, the same moments on the clock, the same inner tension right before something unusual occurs. These were never accidents or tricks of the mind. They were markers counting down. Each delay you chose was noted, each hesitation recorded. Now the space for waiting has closed. Remain here until the final word lands, because the shift ignites the instant this message completes. You have been touching your own fate without knowing how close you were to changing everything. What was meant for you was released weeks ago, yet uncertainty kept it suspended between worlds. What you choose in this breath decides whether it finally arrives or fades away. What approaches is vast, yet it will not crash in violently. It will slip in all at once, softly and suddenly, like light splitting the darkness you thought would never end. You will recognize it instantly. A warmth will bloom in your chest. A subtle spark will flash behind your eyes. And time itself will seem to pause. This is not dread. This is alignment. This is confirmation from the divine. Your name has been spoken quietly through every setback, every closed door, every night you could not rest. Those moments were never punishments. They were shaping you. You had to feel unsteady so you could be guided back into your true direction. Do not turn away now, because the realignment begins the moment these words enter you. Too many times you ignored the pull inside, mistaking guidance for worry, confusing intuition with imagination. This moment will not repeat itself gently. What you refuse to shift will now be shifted for you. The atmosphere feels heavier today because the divine is closer than it has ever been. Do not leave now. This instant carries a frequency your future self has been calling for. Above you, your name is being spoken with intensity. Motion has already been released in your favor, but it needs your stillness, your attention, to fully reach you. The exhaustion that once drained you will begin to loosen its grip. Those who quietly hoped you would fail will feel the sudden reversal without understanding why. Creation itself has been waiting for your signal to release what is already yours. And this moment is that signal. You have felt it recently, the strange blend of peace and turbulence in your chest. That is the sign of two paths pressing against each other. One keeps you small, the other lifts you beyond what you imagined. The divine says choose carefully, because your next choice lays the ground beneath your feet. What you thought was delay was never rejection. It was protection, keeping you away from what was not yet ready. Every tear you shed charged the unseen, shaping the key that opens your beginning. Do not step away now. You are only seconds from activation. Before the final truth is revealed, understand this clearly. You are not here by coincidence. This is a moment of decision. Archangel Michael calls you into a season of accelerated awakening. When you anchor your faith within this space, the exchange is unmistakable. What you offer returns multiplied. Expanded access, uncommon protection, and early preparation for the breakthroughs ahead. Do not let this window close. Answer the invitation placed before you through the link provided. and remain connected to the words meant specifically for you. The forces aligned around you are already arranged perfectly. They wait for your release, not your resistance. The more you fight, the heavier it feels, and even heaven cannot pause forever. Stay until the end. This is not punishment. It is a measure of trust. Your stillness now is evidence of belief. Those who mocked your waiting will soon watch in silence as you rise without warning. Everything begins the instant you stop scrolling and allow yourself to receive. The count continues, and every heartbeat you notice echoes through realms beyond sight. This is not fear. It is assurance. Something powerful, sacred, and unchangeable is about to meet you halfway. Beloved soul, the energy surrounding you is lifting. Something unseen is already moving toward you. You may not see it with your eyes, but if you focus, you will feel that unmistakable pull inside, as though destiny itself is reaching out, trying to place itself directly into your hands. Do not turn away now, because this exact breath marks the moment your path is being gently adjusted. Every pause you endured, every wound that cracked your heart, every call that never returned was shaping this opening. And now that opening stands wide before you. The tears that left you confused were never meaningless. They nourished the soil beneath the breakthrough you could not yet see. Each door that closed gathered your pain, storing it as evidence that you were prepared to rise higher. Something vast is waiting for you, yet it does not arrive through struggle. It arrives through alignment. And alignment has found you now. The rhythm of your heart has finally synchronized with the answer you have been praying into existence. That is why these words reached you among so many others. Listen deeply, because within these next moments a sacred reversal begins. Those who once overlooked you will be the first to observe your elevation. They will replay old scenes in their minds, searching for an explanation. You will know the truth. It was never chance. It was divine timing. Do not keep scrolling, because stepping away now would mean missing the confirmation crafted specifically for you. It will appear simply, perhaps as a sound that catches your attention, a subtle flash, or a gentle warmth spreading across your body. That will be the sign that heaven has sealed your name with accelerated grace. Remain here, beloved. You are not late. You are being carefully placed. The final minutes spoken of were never meant as punishment. They were always an invitation to awaken. And that awakening begins the instant you release doubt about what was already arranged in your favor. The space around you is no longer neutral. It hums with intention. Every pulse in your chest, every quiet noise nearby, every breath moving through you is lining up with something immense preparing to appear. Do not leave, because even now your life is shifting softly beneath the surface. Unseen forces are arranging outcomes you once believed could never exist. The divine has already authorized your release from cycles that kept you waiting. It now asks only for your stillness to deliver what has always been yours. You have been holding weights that were never assigned to you. Responsibilities and burdens belonging to others somehow settled on your shoulders, and you carried them without resistance. But heaven is lifting every load that does not match your purpose. Notice the lightness beginning to arrive. Sense the tension slowly loosening its grip. This is not illusion. This is intervention, removing elements that no longer belong in your unfolding story. The fatigue you have felt is the shedding of an old version of yourself, dissolving to make room for who you are becoming. Do not resist this transition. Do not cling to what is already leaving. Release it with gratitude, knowing that every exit now is clearing space for something far more expansive. The unease will pass. The change will remain. Stay present, because the return for your patience is forming in ways that will leave you without words. Heaven has observed every quiet sacrifice, every moment you chose trust over fear, every time you stayed gentle when bitterness tempted you, every time you stayed gentle when bitterness tempted you, every prayer breathed through tears. Nothing was overlooked. Everything was counted. And now the balance of divine order is shifting in your favor. What was taken unfairly will come back multiplied. What was postponed will arrive swiftly, richly, overwhelmingly. The transformation stirring within you is teaching you how to receive freely, without shame, without fear, without explanation. You are learning to accept what comes simply because you are worthy, not because pain qualified you, but because your existence itself has always been enough. This is the fresh pattern heaven is gently embedding into your awareness, a quiet renewal of how you see yourself in the world. Worth is no longer something you earn through wounds or endurance. It is recognized as something you arrived with. Favor is no longer payment for hardship, it is your natural climate. Prosperity is no longer a battle you must win. It is an inheritance awakening inside you. Heaven is already leaning toward you, even in moments of rest, even in moments of doubt. When the noise of life tried to smother your whispers, every prayer still arrived exactly where it was meant to go. Not a single word vanished. Not a single moment was wasted. What you feel shifting within you is not a phase that will fade. It is a permanent reorientation. This marks the opening of a new timeline where struggle no longer carries your name. You are stepping into a season of ease, where entrances appear before you ask and roads clear before your feet touch them. Stay where you are, because what is rising within you will alter how you are perceived, how chances locate you, how purpose reacts to your presence. You are no longer unseen. You are identified, selected, and recognized. Remain until the final breath of this message, because completion is happening even as you listen. You may sense a pressure in your chest or a slowing in your breath. This is not unease. This is alignment settling into place. Behind what you can observe, the universe has been quietly reorganizing. While you assumed nothing was moving, links were forming, locks were loosening, and resources were being redirected toward you. You do not yet see the entire design, but heaven already does. Trust the process unfolding around you, even when it appears confusing, even when it feels delayed. It is actually precision at work. Your breakthrough has not missed its moment. It is arriving exactly when you are prepared to hold it. The encounters ahead, the doors that will open, the favor that will surround you, all of it is already advancing. Your role is simple now. Remain aligned, remain trusting, remain present. Do not leave this moment, because something irreversible is being sealed into your life right now. What once drained you will no longer have permission to pull from you. What once clouded your understanding will begin to make sense effortlessly. What once blocked your path will dissolve without resistance. This is not imagination or hopeful thinking. This is intervention taking shape in real time. Your spirit already recognizes it. That is why you feel altered. Why something inside you is loosening and expanding at the same time. The barriers around your heart are lowering because defense is no longer required. That chapter has ended. Now begins the season of receiving. Now begins the season of expansion. Now begins the time when heaven moves faster than your mind can track. And your only task is to release control and allow the current to carry you. Stay present with this sensation. Let it move through you fully. Let it cleanse every doubt, every fear, every belief that once whispered your opportunity had passed. Your moment has not slipped away. It has arrived. Remain until the final word, beloved, because when this message concludes, you will not be the same as when it began. Something within you will have shifted permanently. And that shift will draw everything meant for your next elevation. The waiting has ended. The trial has completed. What you have been calling for is no longer postponed. It has found its opening, and that opening is now. From this point forward, your steps will be guided. Your words will carry substance, and every threshold you approach will recognize who you are. This is not ego. This is placement. Do not turn away, because heaven is finalizing the exchange. What belongs to you is being released from its holding place. The resistance you felt was the last structure giving way. The heaviness you carried was preparation pressing you into shape. Now that weight is lifting and a gentle lightness is settling in its place, you will notice it first in your thoughts, then in your emotions, and finally reflected in your circumstances. Everything is recalibrating to match your renewed frequency. Beloved soul, the vibration moving through you now is not accidental. It is confirmation that something powerful is unlocking on your behalf. Every pause that once made you question your value was only leading you to this precise realization. Remain until the end, because what is changing inside you is real. You may sense warmth spreading through your chest or a calm, anchoring your breath. This is not emotion alone. It is energy. It is heaven revealing that the pain you once carried has been refined into light. Something immense is prepared for you, and it is already pressing through every barrier that tried to confine it. Doors once sealed are beginning to tremble, because your name is being spoken in places you have never stepped into. You do not need to pursue this. It is already approaching you. Do not move, because you are standing within accelerated flow. What once required years will now unfold in weeks. What seemed unreachable will begin to appear naturally. Heaven no longer requires your effort. It asks only for your readiness. The sole requirement now is belief. Stay with me, beloved. You are no longer waiting for a miracle. You have become one. The light rising through you outweighs every doubt ever spoken against you. This transition is quiet, yet its echo will touch every corner of your life. Do not skip this stillness, because within it your confirmation is forming. Signs will emerge soon. Repeating numbers, sudden peace, familiar names resurfacing unexpectedly. When they appear, remember this was the moment your restoration was finalized. Allow this peace to sink deeply and settle within you. You have crossed from hoping into receiving, from waiting into walking. Everything is unfolding exactly as intended, with precision and purpose. Beloved soul, this instant is not a pause in your day. It is a doorway shaped specifically for you. The air feels altered because destiny is drawing near. It is brushing against your energy, asking for your full presence. Do not rush. Do not move, because what is about to be revealed carries the weight of your next chapter. What approaches now is too meaningful to overlook. Every second of stillness you offer here pulls alignment into motion. Heaven rarely shouts. It speaks through quiet moments, through subtle sensations that tell you change is happening even when words fail. The calm rising within you is not ordinary. It is release. It is the resonance of what you thought was lost, finally returning to where it belongs. You have endured the proving long enough, and the sacred has witnessed every tear you hid behind strength, when no one else was watching. What is meant for you is vast, and it has already drifted into your field of influence. You might notice a wave of warmth, a slow exhale of relief, a sudden moment where everything makes sense. That feeling is not random. It is assurance. You are crossing into a current where striving dissolves and wonder takes over. Remain here, because this presence is not passing through. It is reshaping you. The roar of the world is growing quieter, so you can finally hear the inner voice, reminding you that you survived. You are no longer who you were at the beginning of this path. You are steadier, wiser, and at last prepared to receive what has always been yours. Stay with this until the final breath, beloved. The era of searching has closed. You will begin to notice calm, settling into spaces that once ached, openings emerging from places you believed were sealed shut. The reversal has already started, sending ripples backward and forward through your story. Do not turn away now, because what heaven reserved for this moment carries special weight. You are entering a chapter where your very presence unlocks pathways, not through pressure or fear, but through a quiet authority born from divine alignment. Others will feel this shift before you even speak. Do not turn away now, because what heaven reserved for this moment carries special weight. You are entering a chapter where your very presence unlocks pathways, not through pressure or fear, but through a quiet authority born from divine alignment. Others will feel this shift before you even speak. Remain until the end, because as these words complete, a new frequency activates. This is your point of release, the crossing from standing still into moving forward, from trusting into becoming. Allow this energy to settle deeply into your heart, because it is evidence that the work above is complete. You are ready now. Nothing can stand in the way of what is destined for you. Walk with softness, move with clarity, and know that your moment has arrived. Pause briefly and sense the space around you breathing. The air carries something unusual. It is alive, charged, quietly signaling that the divine has drawn near. Every heartbeat you feel now is matching perfect timing. You are standing in the precise second designed for you alone. Do not leave, because this is not chance. This is confirmation that these words were meant to find you. What is unfolding is gentle and unseen, yet stronger than anything you have known. Heaven is not alerting you with fear. It is opening you with awareness. Stay present, because a release is approaching, not loud or dramatic, but deep, steady, and complete. It is the kind of peace that does not knock before entering. It fills the space, softly rearranging everything that once felt heavy. You are no longer seeking signs. You have become the sign that movement has begun. What awaits you is already aware of your readiness. You have passed trials no one else noticed. You have survived storms meant to pull you under, yet something within you kept drawing breath. Now the return arrives quietly, wrapped in clarity and stillness. As this truth settles into your spirit, it is time to anchor what you have received. Let your voice affirm it. Step into the comments and write with certainty that your release has been approved. Your belief is the key. Use it now. Do not scroll away, because this current does not circle back twice. What is happening around you is sacred. It is rewriting conclusions you thought were final. Old patterns are dissolving. New light is taking root. And heaven is preparing something unexpected that will unfold with ease. Remain until the end, dear one. You have entered a season of recognition, where everything you touched with sincerity begins to return multiplied. Others will notice your calm and wonder what shifted, unaware that it is the glow of answered prayer resting on you. Do not turn away, because confirmation is near, closer than your next breath. You will recognize it when life begins to feel lighter, clearer, more aligned. That is heaven's way of saying the waiting has ended. The promise stands true. Stay with this until it completes. You will recognize it when life begins to feel lighter, clearer, more aligned. That is heaven's way of saying the waiting has ended. The promise stands true. Stay with this until it completes. When these words finish, sit briefly in silence and simply feel. You may sense a change in your thoughts, your chest, or the space around you. This is not imagination. This is movement. This is your moment. Walk gently, speak with care, and remember that you are no longer waiting for miracles. You are moving within one.